The Houston Rockets caught a nice break to end their regular season, and now they find themselves in the second seed of the Western Conference standings. And tomorrow night, they will kick off their first round of the playoffs against the Dallas Mavericks. Here with me now is SBR's expert odds analyst, Dave Golikoff, to break down his predictions on the game. Dave, a lot of people are expecting big things from MVP contender James Harden and his Rockets team, but what about the Mavs? Do you think they could give Houston a run for their money in this series?
I think it's possible. Houston is one of the softer number 2 seeds in the conference in recent memory in terms of, they don't have a ton of pedigree. They haven't exactly made a ton of deep runs in the playoffs recently. Heck, they lost to Portland in the first round last year with home court advantage. I think Portland last year was a better team than Dallas this year, but it's possible. The Rockets are banged up. There's no Moti Junis, I forget how to pronounce his name properly. There's no Patrick Beverley. And Dwight Howard, he's playing. He's on a minutes limit. But the limit's going to go up. But, he's clearly not 100%. So there's some issues there. And then Dallas, who knows? Maybe they kick it up a notch in the playoffs because they did it last year. Remember, this is a team that also is kind of so-so in the regular season. They played the Spurs, and they ended up taking them to 7 games. That they were probably the Spurs' biggest challenge last year in the postseason. So it's possible. I think Rick Carlisle is a better coach than Kevin McHale. So there is definitely some things to like about Dallas. They're the highest scoring team in the NBA in April. There's definitely some cases to be made for them if you like them, both on the series and in Game 1.
And yeah, Dave, the Mavs have done pretty well offensively in the month of April, but honestly, I just don't think Dallas has the defensive stamina that can hold the Rockets under a 5-point spread in this series opening game. What do you think, Dave? The line is set at 5.5 in favor of the Rockets. Who are you leaning with to cover in this one?
I do like the Rockets here. I think that this is a challenging series for Dallas in the sense that, you mentioned it, the defense. They're 25th in the NBA in terms of points allowed per game at 102.3. And I think that number was actually a bit better against Houston this season in the 4 matchups. But still, Houston very solid offensively, especially at home. And they feast on these poor defensive teams as the Mavericks and their 25th ranked defense, they're giving up obviously more than 99 points per game. Well, the Rockets are 19-5 straight up this season in matchups against teams that allow 99 points per game or more. The other thing too that I like is that Houston comes into this with momentum. They've won 3 straight. They won 14 of their last 18 to close out the year. Everyone talks about the Clippers finishing hot, the Spurs finishing hot. Houston had to work to get back to that number 2 seed, and they eventually did. So I think they deserve credit. I think in this particular spot, they're going to take care of business, and they're going to cover the spread.
All right, guys. Once again, expert handicapper Dave Golikoff giving his free breakdown and selections for Game 1, Round 1 of the Mavs-Rockets matchup in the postseason, tipping off this Sunday. If you guys want to get more info from Dave, you've got questions you want answered about the NBA Finals, comment below. Hit us up on Twitter at SBR Sports Picks. You can give us a shout out on Facebook at Sportsbook Review. And of course, for all the best NBA action for the postseason, keep it locked right here with us at SBRPicks.com.